Hi Boomer fans, welcome to this week's edition of Coach's Corner, proudly brought to you by Lucerne Investment Partners and Eikon Financial. This week's guest is one of your Boomer favourites, a two-time WNBL champion, 3-on-3 superstar, Boomer captain and just an all-round fabulous human. Welcome, Miss Maddie Garrick.
Hi.
Thank you for joining us today.
You're welcome. I'm happy to be on here.
Mads, it's always wonderful having a chat with you, and I thought we'd probably better start with where you're at with your injury. What happened? What have you had done? And give everybody an idea of where you're at with your rehab.
Yeah, sure. So I had an ankle reconstruction. I had a arthroscopy in the front. It's just been kind of years of trauma to it that I didn't have any ligaments left. My ankle had been really unstable, which was causing a lot of other issues. I am 6 weeks post-op. It's like a 3-month return to sport. And that's kind of mainly tailored to the general population. So I've given myself kind of more towards the 4-month mark to get back to, professional sport and WNBL.
But in terms of 3-on-3, there was a lot that was meant to be going on. So where are we at as a country now, given that we've been so restricted on what you girls can do, and what's the plan leading up to Tokyo?
Yeah, I mean, it's been difficult for us anyway, because being in Australia, we're so far away from where the bulk of the teams are in the world. But you get ranking points for the tournaments that you play. And if you go to FIBA events, they're worth more than your events at home. So we struggle to get a lot of ranking points, even though we're one of the better teams, because we just can't go to tournaments to get that. The good thing is that the girls that play it, we're so skilled that we can, and we've played against each other, or we play with each other, that we just need a few games to play together, and we're back to where we were.
Where are 3-on-3 at in terms of qualifying for the Olympics?
So we obviously qualified for the Olympic qualifying tournament, which is the one that's supposed to be held in March. So my understanding of it is that we have to finish top 3 in that tournament. Just staying very open-minded to everything, but with the goal that we're going to the Olympic qualifying tournament.
How have you felt the 3-on-3 game has really helped your game, not just physically, but also mentally?
Yeah. Well, the biggest change is obviously that physical side of the game. So since playing 3x3, like even just on my defense, it doesn't matter kind of who I'm defending, I'm more physical and I can kind of hold my own. And the transition from offense to defense is so quick that you don't even have time to be like, oh, I missed that shot. So even just being able to read the game in real time and learning on the run, having more of an understanding of the game, a better IQ, decision-making, has definitely helped me as well. Also being in a leadership role with Kayla last year changed my complete focus going into a game. Obviously, you want to play well rather than going into a game thinking, well, I'm a shooter, I've got to shoot well today. It's more like, okay, well, what can I control and how can I get my teammates best prepared for them to be able to help the team from the 3x3 and then being that leadership role. Just completely changed my preparation to a game.
So leading into WNBL, you touched on it before, how the captaincy has really helped your game. You and Kayla obviously work really well together. You're very serious captains. I don't know what's going on there. But what do you love most about taking on that role? Because it is a really special role.
Yeah, it is really special. Well, firstly, I actually love sharing it with Kayla because, we are very similar, but we also fill in each other's gaps. So if, Kayla might say something and we'll bounce ideas off each other. I think because our team's so special as well, like we've got such a special culture and connection within our players that it's nice to be able to kind of be a part of creating that culture and that team and being part of that environment and knowing that, I'm a leader in that sense. Some days you go to training and you're like, I can't be bothered. Like I'm in a bad mood for whatever reason, like I didn't sleep well or something else is going on. But it's like, you know what? My attitude's going to roll off on other people. So what attitude do I want to bring?
What are your thoughts on how the season's looking? Our team is looking. There's only been a couple of changes, otherwise it's the same, but we won't have SoFa LA, obviously not having any input. So how are you feeling about the upcoming season?
I'm feeling good about it because we've got our core group. We've got a number of players coming back from last season. So, that chemistry piece will already be there and we can kind of take off from where we left off or left it last season. Going down in the semi-finals, like we had a team that had absolutely won the whole thing. We just didn't produce the right thing when it mattered. So that's sport for you as well. So I think everyone's got a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. Obviously not having imports will give, some other players who might have been on the end of the roster or development players coming through more of an opportunity. So I think it's really great in that sense. I'm excited to get back with the girls because I just loved our team last season. Like we just had and I talk about it all the time, and I sound like a broken record, but we just had such a great culture that it was just so much fun, no matter what we were doing.
Now, you've just announced the Maddie Garrick coaching, which is pretty exciting, and it's no better time than, really proud of you, really happy for you, because this is the perfect time to get that sort of thing underway. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so I guess I kind of came up with the idea. I've been wanting to do this for years, like at least 5 years, but I've always put it on the back burner. And particularly during the off season, so this time I would do a lot of individual coaching with kids one-on-one or small group stuff, and obviously can't do that. So I was like, you know what, I miss coaching kids and like the kids that really want to work hard and work on their game. So I was like, well, Zoom's a perfect way to do it. You still have that kind of that one-on-one coaching, but I'm obviously not there in the flesh. But that's I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna set it up. If it, people want to book in, that's fine. If they don't, that's also fine. But it's like at least they know it's there. And I think I have a lot of experience from everything that I've gone through in my career, and I just kind of want to give that back as well.
How do kids or anyone that's interested, how do they sign up? Your Insta page?
Yeah, you can go on my Insta page. I've got a link in my bio there. It's just mgcoaching.com.au.
If you were looking back on a younger Maddie Garrick right now, what advice would you give yourself?
That everything is kind of temporary, and everything that you go through, particularly the toughest times and the times where you feel your lowest, the times that you're dealing with mental health issues or depression or whatever it is, they're the times you learn the most about yourself, and you find your greatest strength in those moments.
Your favourite nickname for yourself?
Mad Dog.
Mad Dog. Can you speak any other language?
I did Indonesian at school, but I could only speak probably like two sentences. Apa kabar? Did you say bike saja?
No, I don't.
That means, how you going? I'm good, thank you. And namaste, Maddie. That's my name is Maddie.
Outside of basketball, what is your favourite thing to do?
Probably nap and eat.
Any hidden talents that we might not know about?
I have this inability to not use puns. I'm very quick-witted in that sense. Whether that's a talent or not, I know at the start people are like, oh, you're so funny, but then they're like, oh, here we go, Mads with another pun. Are
you obsessed with TikTok?
I went through a phase, not so much now because I'm a little bit more immobile, but I would say, yeah, I'm borderline obsessed.
Are you sponsored by Nike?
I wish. My agent, if you're listening.
Do all your jeans have rips in them?
The main ones I wear, yes. I do have one pair in case I have to be formal, but most of them, yes.
Something we do not know about you.
I played the flute for about 8 years.
Your favourite basketball memory so far in your career?
Well, my initial answer would be obviously the first time that I played for Australia, getting my first Opals jersey. But I also, so I'm going to have two here. Last season, the whole of last season, it was just incredible.
If you could invite one guest to dinner, who would it be and why?
Right now, I would say Kobe Bryant. Obviously, he's an incredible basketball player, but his mentality, like I just want to pick that apart. I'm so interested in people's mindsets and the different, how everyone can be so different.
Favorite movie?
Bridesmaids.
Ice cream or chips? Can only choose one.
Oh, did you choose these specifically because you know these are my two favorite foods?
Yes, I did.
Chip.
Favourite singer?
Shania Twain.
Matt, always so fabulous speaking with you. Thank you for taking some time out with us today for Coach's Corner. Don't forget, what's the name of your link again? Give one more shout out.
mgcoaching.com.au, or just type in Maddie Garrick Coaching.
Or go to her Instagram page if you want a massive laugh. She's an absolute character, this one. We all love you, Mads. Thank you. Keep working hard. Make sure you get back to the start of the season. Well, that is it. It's another edition of Coach's Corner. Don't forget to follow the Boomers on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn and YouTube for all updated news. Wishing everyone another fabulous week. Let's keep going, Melbourne. We're almost there. Stay kind. See you next week.